What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. You know, I did my morning video here, and it's uploading now and doing things, and I like to try and do as much research as I can. I, look at things and try and figure out this, try and connect the dots and get in the head of the Joneses and trying to understand what they're doing. This is literally giving me a migraine when I look and I see some of the things that I see, because we have literally, and I'm not going to say that we don't have players that we would like to upgrade, because I definitely think that we do have players that we need to upgrade. But, you don't leave the one you're with until you have somebody else that's going to be coming in. And I'm trying to understand if there's a plan here. But this is one of those things that just completely mystifies me and makes no sense whatsoever. And this is, as I'm looking at the NFL salary cap, and somehow, let me blow this up. Let me blow it up a little bit here so we can actually see the numbers. This is literally mystifying. Well, actually, I can take that one off, can't I? Every day I get a text message from Philly 500 on one of the great moves that Howie Vision has made. And as I sit here and look at their numbers, after all the moves that they've made, they still have $35 million of money to spend. Now, here's where it's interesting is they've got $16 million in dead space. Now, they've gone out and they've brought in more players and things like that. Now, there's Hassan Reddick, who wants to get a new contract that may end up getting moved, and we heard rumors that the Cowboys were interested in trading for him. Yeah, okay, we'll see about that. But lo and behold, the Dallas Cowboys have signed one player in free agency. One. They have since let guys go left and right. Right and left. Left and right and left. And literally, here's what's crazy. They have the least amount of spending in free agency. And you can go down here because there's teams like New Orleans that were $73 million in the red. Somehow New Orleans has $18 million to spend. But here it is, the Dallas Cowboys, we now have $5.5 million. $5.5 million. Somebody explain to me how it is the Eagles still have $30 million more than us, and they've been signing people left and right. And we have literally lost player after player after player after player. And here's where it's interesting, because you could say, well, maybe a lot of the players that they signed, that they lost, and so they probably have a lot of dead money. Here's what's crazy is we have the exact same amount of dead money as the Eagles, that have constantly, as we've been told by Stephen Jones, that you can't, if you got to get free agents, if you got to get, you're going to overspend. Well, okay, Stephen Jones, you haven't overspent in free agency. We can definitely say that that's not the case. You are the lowest spender in free agency. So, as my wife will say is, where's your savings? Where's your money going? What are you spending it on? Because right now you don't really have a team on the field. You can't field the team. You can't field the team. And here's where it's crazy. So let's think about things that the Eagles have done in the last couple of years. They had gone out and they got, A.J. Brown. They made a trade for A.J. Brown, right? They did that. They ended up eating Carson Wentz's contract. They ate $35 million in dead money for Carson Wentz, right? They brought in hired assassins and things, right? Guys that they kept bringing in, DeAndre Swift and things like that. They brought in, players left and right. They've gone through. I should pull up the list. Let me pull up the list. I mean, they brought in Saquon Barkley. Okay, let's go through here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So, the Eagles have $35 million in cap space, and they've signed Saquon Barkley, defensive end Bryce Huff, kept Josh Sweat, and their punter. They signed Layden Dickerson to a monster contract extension and C.J. Gardner to a 3-year deal. And the Cowboys, we've signed Eric Kendrick and brought back our long snapper and Jordan Lewis. I just want to know, if you're not spending it on free agents and missing, if you literally can't sign anybody, and I understand that, and over the course of the last several years, you've seen the Eagles constantly signing guys over and over again, making trades and moves, bringing in talent, and yet they're not in cap hell. Now, I will say one thing. The only maybe saving grace is, or reason for this is, as we look at next year, the Cowboys' cap space is $100 million, and the Eagles' cap space is 12. So that says that the Eagles are putting that money down the road. But see, here's where it's interesting is because, see, New Orleans is already $60 million in the red for next year. They were 73 this year, and now they've got 18 positive. So they found a way. They found a way that even though they're way over, that they can get back under and continue business, and then be way over next year and find a way. Because you can even look at New Orleans and say, at least it's when I tried to sign a quarterback and different players, and they brought in my man Demario Davis years ago. There are players in there, and you can understand that, but they find ways to work around it. How come the Dallas Cowboys can't? That's where it gives me a headache, and I don't understand how it is that we can't seem to do anything. If I'm Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones, I have to question what we're doing as a business model that says we're spending the least amount of money. We're spending the least amount of money every single year on free agents, and somehow every single year we don't have any money. How is that possible, people? Tell me, how is it that the Rams built and brought in everybody, traded for Matthew Stafford, brought in Jalen Ramsey, brought in, Ndamukong Suh, brought in Odell Beckham Jr., brought in Von Miller, won a Super Bowl, deconstructed, started all over, and yet they still have $12 million more than we do? How is that possible? How is it that San Francisco... Oh, excuse me, I'm still back on the other year. Hold on. Let me go back to 2024. How is it possible that the Rams, excuse me, have $15 million more than we do? How is it that Tampa Bay did the same thing, took dead money from Tom Brady and everything else, and they still have $4 million more to spend than we do. How is this possible, people? How is it possible that the Dallas Cowboys can literally be in this space financially with an organization that's worth almost $10 billion? That they could build the richest sports franchise in the world, have the number one stadium experience and all this, that, and the other, yet be so inept in managing the salary cap. How is that possible? It's literally, I'm just trying to understand this. How the hell can you not bring in free agents and yet be in the worst cap situation out there? It doesn't make sense. I just don't know. I just don't know. If somebody can explain it to me, I would love the explanation. But right now, I am just sitting here disgusted. I just don't know. I think I'm going to go down in the cellar and do some more work because this shit is giving me a headache. Have a good day, good people. Have a good day.